everybody. Let's just get my coffee. So we're here with Timmy today. I want to try and talk to him. Hello. Well, we're on camera, which is going to be interesting because when I focus on him, he cribs, as we'll see now. He's been doing this most of his life, I suspect. And it's very difficult to understand when to get peaceful and when to regard with a cribber, and that's the trust technique. Or it's the trust technique, the creative reaction of the trust technique, which is to ask them to be peaceful and then regard what happens, or to go peaceful and regard what happens. So when I go peaceful, let's see what happens. So I'm going to find my spot and go into myself. I'm not focused on him, although the camera is. Actually, I've got my eyes shut at the moment because I want to really focus deep into me. So I'm not thinking that the cribbing is distracting me. So I'm pulled back to that all the time. I'm just going to ask him, if I can just feel what that cribbing feels like for him. As soon as I shut my eyes, it shut my eyes again now. As soon as I did that, he started cribbing again. So I'm going to go back to feeling into him. What does that feel like? I can see what it looks like. He's pulling on the post. He's pulling air into his throat, down his neck. There's a stance he's taking, which is rocking. His back leg and his front leg. And it's almost like a hiccups. Hiccup. Or wanting to burp. So when he stops, I'll go peaceful. When he starts, I come back out. Again, just feeling into that. You can see how his forehead moves a lot with his cribbing. It's like he's pulling on his face as well. Above his eyes, there's that sort of dips. I'm not going to name any parts because I'll probably get them wrong. But it's affecting a lot of his body. His eyes are far away. They're away, or they've gone in. Maybe they're inside. It's like a sense that he's looking in. Into his body. So I'm going to go with him. I'm going to look into his body too. Okay, so I'm feeling anxiety now in the chest and diaphragm area. Tension in the shoulders. As he looks inside, and his tail's moved. So I feel his legs too. There's a lot of tension in his hips and sacrum area. Now this is interesting because, thank you, yesterday when we went out for a walk yesterday, and about halfway around I was just playing a little bit with mirroring his walking, increasing my energy, decreasing my energy, just with his, but I was watching his front legs, and I suddenly got this feeling to watch his back legs. And that was interesting because, I mean, I don't ride very well. I had a few lessons years ago, and I have ridden him a couple of times. But I've always thought myself too big for him, really. He's got spindly little legs. You don't want any more weight on your back, do you, darling? No. No, you don't, do you? No, what are you watching? Oh, Karida's gone off for a walk. Yeah. Are you looking at me? Are you? Hey. And I got a feeling to walk with his back legs where the power is, I suppose. And he seemed to really enjoy that. So we did that for quite a while, just walking, mirroring his back legs rather than his front. It's like all of these individuals. They're individuals and they like what they like. I want to talk a little bit about, I mean, also I had a little bit of a chat with him the other day, and there is another Timmy underneath there, and I think that's what he looks at sometimes as well when he goes inside. Yes, you do, don't you? You look at your inner Timmy. I see him. Beautiful boy. Fit. Hey. You are amazing. You're an amazing lad. You are beautiful, and you're strong, and you're fit. Yes. Yes, you are. I see him. What do we need to do to bring him out to the surface? Feel a little bit of anxiety again. That's okay. His soul name, he's allowing me to share. They're all allowing me to share their soul names. His soul name is Seeker. Full name, Seeker of Truth. What is his truth? I think we have to seek his truth before he can help seek anybody else's truth, or help them seek their truths. Hey. So how do we find your truth, Timmy? Who are you? I see who you are. I seek your truth. I would like to see your truth more on the surface. Now, let's look at that from the other perspective. Am I truth on the surface? Are any of us really truth on the surface. And this is an interesting topic because I'm going to generalize, which I don't like to do very often. But when we think about us as humans and how we are educated, how we are brought up, the systems that we have to be a part of, the history in our lives, how much of that do we put inside ourselves and hide it and push it down? We all do, don't we? And what I'm trying to do now is to bring who I am to the surface. And I think me and Timmy are doing that together. Bringing it to the surface. Got a little bit of mud to walk through, so I'm just going to be a little bit careful here. Connect with the ground. Find my feet. He's waiting for me, which is nice. We want to find, where do you want to go? Hey? I'm not taking you out today because I took you with the pony and he pulled my shoulder slightly. He doesn't like to go out on his own. He gets very anxious, and I don't want to add to his anxiety. So I usually take the little ponies out with him. But of course then one's walking a lot. He's quite a fast walker, and the ponies are not. So yesterday I let Karida pretty much walk on her own, and she was great, but she did keep at least 300 meters behind us, so every now and again we had to wait. I walked a lot further because I ended up going back to push her on a little bit now and again. She found a stick to have a scratch on. He's curious. So, are we truth? And should we seek our own truths? I think so. I think we have to. How can we carry on? Is it sustainable to continue with the level of internalization that we all have? And when I say internalization, that doesn't necessarily mean we all go inside and shy away from everything. Some of us are more extrovert and tell our truth, but sometimes that can come across quite aggressively or defensively. This is my truth and I dare you to to question it. But most of this is sort of wander through life. But when we face at home we're probably different people to when we walk out the front door. Particularly if we're living in, I'm very lucky to live in a very quiet, apart from the road. My nearest neighbour is half a kilometre away. And they're farmers, so we rarely see anybody. The house that way is just a farm barn. There's nobody living there, it's dilapidated. So, and I don't work now, so I don't need to be a different person when I walk out the door, although I still am. It's a habit. It's like Timmy's cribbing. It's a habit that you get used to. And it's not an easy one to break. I can only share my experiences, but things like talking to the teller at the supermarket instead of keeping your eyes down and getting out of there as soon as possible. It's for the more introverted, that's quite a brave thing to do. It's just look up, smile. Smiling at people as you walk past them rather than dodging them in case they look back at you. hiding your inner self. This is what cribbing is. Hiding the inner self. And just go peaceful for a minute with Timmy. And acknowledge that. Now we're going to just feel the feeling of dropping the armour, letting go of the armour. Now that's made Timmy move, okay, but he's gone, okay, I think I might be able to do this. So I'm not going to move at the moment. I'm just regarding him very lightly from my peripheral vision while I keep a spot on the ground near him. And I'm thinking about my own armour. And what I'm going to do is imagine myself in armour. And now I'm going to take off my helmet. Take off all the armour. Let the air come into my body. At the same time, just bringing myself to the surface. Filling the skin up. Breathe. No, you're okay. Just let yourself come all the way from the inside out. See that shy introvert or the extrovert hiding feelings under bluster. Who are you inside? How difficult is it? Now, bear in mind, I've been doing this for a few years, so it will feel rather strange to stand and try and bring your inside out. But it's like you have to imagine who you really want to be, who you really are. Who are you down? Who was you as a child before you started feeling scared? That's what a lot of this is fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing, fear of not achieving, fear of having somebody, fear of somebody else's aggression. You know, there's a lot of fears that we grow into, and a lot of the time we weren't taught how to accept, how to be at peace, how to forgive. We were often taught to judge the situation, and then that judgment turns into a response, a reaction to a type of external influence, I suppose. It's an interesting term, influence, isn't it? Influencing. Influencers are very big these days. Not to be influenced by anything that doesn't feel peaceful is seeking your truth. I love the fact that Timmy he actually feels quite relaxed at the moment, just nibbling away in the hedge there. So he has had a lot of influences in his life that caused him to go inwards. And we have to look at all of those influences to enable him to change the way he feels about those. So Timmy and I have been working with this for a few years now, and it is a layers. It is peeling an onion and then taking the layers off one by one, as it is with ourselves. You know, we can't just go, okay, this is the person I want to be, so I will be that person, because so many of our own responses and reactions and behaviors to external influences, I like that term today, puts us right back where we were. We go back inside. That our reaction to external influences in a lot of ways is to go inside, or to push ourselves inside and create a persona around ourselves, don't we? Yeah, we create a persona. You've created a persona because you've shown me who you are. You're beautiful. And I really love the fact that you showed me who you are. Thank you. Now I've got to try and show him who I am. Bring myself to the surface. My truth. We can be who we are together. So I'm not going to push it today with Timmy. He's we have been every day having a little chat, and again, this is very much about not pushing yourself as well. Be okay with your reactions. Accept yourself going inside now and again. That's perfectly fine. But know you're doing it. I think that's the key.